out whatever you want. We can do whatever you like.
I'm J.R. Phillips. I'm the one that won't shut up, and yeah, you can't make me, okay?
And I'm Nico Harlekenden. I'm the one who took notes, lit them on fire, and then started a completely separate new project instead.
And welcome to BAM! Now you know everything!
I don't want to keep singing so we get flagged for some freaking like stealing of content.
No one will be able to tell what I'm singing. I'm so off.
I was able to tell like instantly. No, okay. So
Hey Jess, how are you?
until they're okay, yeah. Sorry. Hey guys, how's everybody doing today? I really need to get this off my chest because I've been watching Love Island. I've been watching Love Island, not only USA, but also the UK has been dropping it, right? So we're like a little bit behind them. They are messy AF this season on Love Island UK. You thought US was messy. We're messy because we just let racists get on the show, find out they're racist, and then have to boot them out. So then we have no strong couples. The UK is messy because this guy Harry is literally making out with everyone, telling everyone that he's like, oh yeah, I'm into you. Oh yeah, I'm into you. Actually, I think she's just for fun. Actually, I think she's just for fun. You're the person I'm taking seriously. Oh my God, there's my ex. She's coming to the villa. And it's crazy. But anyway, Love Island USA, it's topical, it's happening. Don't worry, I'm not going to be talking about it forever because it's coming to an end literally tonight. But there's so much weird stuff happening. Like
It's like America's football for people who don't like football.
Yeah, it's like an experiment, which we all love, a social experiment. Because I think a lot of people forget, like, dating shows in general are a social experiment. Because in one way or the other, they're taking out a variable, they're slapping a new one in, a different control in each one. And at Love Island, what it is you have no access to the outside world. So you can't look up these people. Right? So they
Big
don't
Brother style, no Googling.
Exactly. And these contestants are playing like Big Brother, which is like pissing off a lot of people that have been watching Love Island for a long time because everything's been based off of connections in the past. It's always been like, who's the strongest connection? Who loves each other? Who's this? Who's that? Right? Not this season. Because the strongest connection just got voted out by America.
Huda?
No, they're not the strongest connection.
Oh, okay.
As much as I'm rooting for Huda and Chris, and I was Huda Chris, as they're calling them,
Okay.
I do understand that she's probably not emotionally regulated enough for a relationship yet. She's just growing still. And Chris is an avoidant. So he's like,
I see.
not wanting to discuss important things. He's kind of blaming her for a lot of things, like she won't kiss him in public, but they get into it in the sheets. And she's saying she doesn't want to kiss him in public because she just crashed out a couple weeks ago after kissing a guy in the villa in front of everybody, and everybody was treating her like a dickhead. You know what I mean? So she's
Jezebel.
Yeah, they're like, how could you two be connected so fast? It's only been one day. They're all like whispering, they're causing her to crash out. She's not regulated. Like, I have a lot of love for her, you know. She's got over 3 million followers on TikTok.
That's crazy.
For a reason. And Huda haters are all the same because they want her to be held accountable, right? Which we all do, but you can hold somebody accountable without cyberbullying. But
True.
that brings us to the racists of it all, okay? Because Sierra officially got booted out because she made that slur and claimed she didn't know what it meant, but she obviously
We talked about it
did.
last week, guys. Yep.
Right. So she got officially kicked out, leaving Nick alone. And you might remember that I wanted Nick and Alondria together, right? I wanted to say Nicolandria. I think, okay, there we go. I was like, my tongue isn't going to listen.
Yeah.
They're full steam ahead. His mom is all about her. Like, she's like, they're all about, and it's making me kick my feet like I'm reading a book. You know, it's so cute. But Shelly and Ace have been together pretty much since day one. They've both explored, but Ace was one of those guys that was like making a fuss about Huda and Jeremiah. So everyone that's on Team Huda, the 3 million they don't like Shelly and Ace because they believe they've just been voting out their competition the entire season, and then they got voted out.
Ugh.
So I was like, what are we doing, guys? Like, we might not like them, but they like each other, and this is freaking Love Island. So, you know. So, of course, I've just been consuming TikTok, like, lives, you know, about it.
Yeah.
And a lot of Black women are coming out and being like, how can Shelly get all this hate? Alondria's account has gotten hacked. Now, Huda had her own, like, people were harassing her. There was a lot of things happening with her. So she didn't get off scot-free. But it was like, and they're correct, that the dark-skinned Black woman, Alondria, had to be perfect. And the minute she steps out of line, she gets dragged and hacked. And then you have Shelly and Ace, who have this beautiful relationship. Ace is like drawing hearts in the sand for her, making her breakfast, getting all these dates going. Like, he always had something to do. None of the other guys in there were doing that. And you're going to vote them out because you just didn't like that. Like, there was no reason. You have to look at the frickin' facts of the show. And I do think it was problematic, and I agree with a lot of the lives I'm seeing. But I also know it's a show, guys, okay? It's a show. Bravo owns it. We don't talk about it enough now. Like, Real Housewives, do you think they're all villains? Like, you know what I mean?
Maybe.
Reality.
Love it, though.
Right. But they're going to be portrayed that way no matter what. They've got handlers, you know, like they've got producers coming up to them and saying, hey, you know, I heard that he's into you actually. So maybe if you go over there and you put some moves on, but he's not into them. And then they go over there and then they fall on their face and then it's good TV. But now they're embarrassed and now they're hoping that they crash out and have an emotional thing. And it's kind of evil. I could never do it. Are you kidding? I'd be like, I could never be in the corner like, I can't wait to see this girl I have to help dress every morning get like a crash out and like lose her trust forever. This is nutso bananas.
It's a job. It's a living.
It's a living. And the inner circle of hell, you know, just going in. What was that Adult Swim show where they worked in like an office, but it was really hell? And they worked for like the devil. Oh, so good.
I don't know.
And so disgusting.
Another Adult Swim office-based show that was so good was Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law. Oh my God. For the life of me.
Adult Swim was really putting out bangers there for a while. I don't know what they're
early
doing
2000s,
now.
mid 2000s,
Yeah, they're doing it.
I approve. Although doesn't every office feel like Satan's taint at some point?
I know. It's because it's like, what is that, Zoochosis? Is that what it's called?
What is this?
I hope I'm not butchering it because it's like when
We'll find out.
it's like when zoo animals start going crazy because they're not supposed to be in four freaking walls all day. They need to be free. They need to just be living. A lot of people believe that humanity is experiencing zoochosis because of capitalism, corporate greed.
I believe it.
And it makes sense, like, you know, especially in certain countries, skyrocketing violence. We live in the bad place. It's okay. Not really.
Yeah. Okay. I've got a little definition here. Zoochosis refers to. First, I had a survival video game as a search result.
Oh,
and I'm ready to play. But zoochosis refers to a psychological condition characterized by repetitive compulsive behaviors in captive animals that are not seen in the wild. This reminds me of going to what zoo? I haven't been to a lot of zoos in my life, but I was traveling, visiting friends in like the West Coast, and they wanted to go, multiple of them wanted to go to like the Portland Zoo. And I remember just being struck, like so saddened by a couple of elephants that were exhibiting zoochosis, just like rocking back and forth against a wall, not having to like see people. And like the Portland Zoo, it's a pretty big zoo. Like they have these large paddocks and stuff like that, but I don't know. I don't believe that animals are okay with that either. So
no, I just think like
that's us. That's us.
Yeah, I also just think it's like reservations, rehabilitation zones, you know,
Different.
helping animals, definitely different. And that doesn't mean Tiger King's version of that, where like he was not helping animals, he was actually hurting animals and everybody around him. And tigers, like
Carol Baskins.
Yeah. Yeah, and Tiger's the acronym one, which I had gone to, and then it turned out like it was like a weird sex trafficking thing he had going on, and that was
weird.
Part of the Tiger King saga and stuff. Like these were all allegations. I never followed up on it, but it was very interesting and definitely off-putting in the documentary, because in the documentary when you're watching it and it's just him and there's this like girls all behind him, like it definitely gave the why are you like okay with being filmed like this? Like this would be embarrassing to me if I was like, okay, yeah, my documentary, I'm gonna have like all of my girls around me, like a brothel-esque vibe.
Well, during the initial Tiger King airing, there was that one individual, I don't remember his name, cowboy hat, like a rival, right? And he was actually an Aquarius. This is the only thing I remember about him. I looked up all of their birthdays because it was the pandemic, and what else do you do but cast the natal birth charts of everybody on like a viral meme situation. But he had, there was that huge scandal that he had created a cult.
Yes, this is who I'm talking about.
Women.
Yeah.
Yes.
And okay, so tigers in Myrtle Beach, I would go there on vacation.
You've been to the scene of the crime.
Yeah, and okay, I'm 13. Okay, I don't really know.
You're not complicit in the crimes.
Yeah, I just want to put that out there.
Yeah.
I loved the memories that I made. Because I got to like lay down and then they just released a bunch of baby lions, panthers, bobcats. They released them, and then all these cats, you had to stand lay really still, and they all just crawled all over you. And if you were blessed by one of them coming up to you, it was so cute. Now looking back on it, I'm like, those poor freaking babies, you know.
Also, poor you and other minors being laid down in the like cage litter of these animals.
It was a very open space, I will say that. It wasn't like nothing felt confined. I also got to see a wolf for the very first time, like the largest wolf, and it was huge. And the guy, the owner or the keeper, whatever, lives with this wolf like in their house. You know, this wolf is very protective of the guy. He was even explaining like you have to get kind of the wolf's permission to even give me a hug kind of deal. Like, you know, like that kind of thing. That core memory, obviously, I'm like, woo, going down. I fed a baby tiger like with a bottle, but then I'm like, this tiger was probably drugged up. Same with the Tyon and the Liger, you know, we saw. They probably drugged them up, prepare them for these meet and greets, you know? And so it makes me so sad to think about. 13-year-old me was like, yes, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to just live in this freaking rainforest with all these animals. Like,
My
that
calling.
sounds amazing. But then after watching Tiger King, yeah, it took me that long for this delusion to crash around me.
That's okay.
The bubble did burst, and I realized after not pursuing anything in zoology that maybe it wasn't. It's not good, you know. It wasn't a good thing. So I would love to see reservations popping up, where you can go see. Like, we have a good turtle reservation around me, like loggerheads, and then they work on them and rebuild their shells and anything that happened, and then they re-release them. They're not there forever. They save their babies, same thing, like to help protect endangered species and stuff. But they're not like hoarding them and putting them into cages in dust bowls, like, you know, weird sideshow circus acts. That part, I'm like, I don't like that. But reservations,
Malarkey. Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people are saying zoochosis.
For all of us.
For all of us. Getting crazier and crazier.
Before I knew the word zoochosis, because you just introduced me to it, I remember being younger, watching the Discovery Channel in like the early 90s, right? And there are all these specials that talk about the overlap in habitat for different species, right? Especially predators and apex predators. They need like miles to an individual to be able to have like a healthy interaction and like interact. And there was like, I remember, it might not have been the Discovery Channel, but something about humans are not supposed to live as densely packed as they are now.
Yeah.
And if you think about like the digital experience of interacting with others, we all live on top of each other.
I didn't even think about, I was imagining New York.
Me too, yes. Yeah, New York and the internet.
Yeah, and you know, humans have always naturally wanted to connect to each other.
Yeah.
And have always wanted like-minded people to create like cities, right? Villages, tribes, all of those things. But I mean, it does make sense, because in the end of the day, we're predators. And competing for everything, you know? Hopefully we're evolving out of, you know, that, using our brains a little more, but that's why people are catty towards one another. Yes, men can be catty. They can be cattier than any cat I've ever met. You know what I mean? Like, they're all peacocking all the time. They're all, you know, resource guarding, which is something that I started looking into, because, like, as we get into conservatism kind of bleeding its way all over everything and making a freaking mess, we have like all these people confidently coming up and telling like how women need to behave and how we need to speak a certain way, we need to love a certain way, you know, all those frustrating things. And I saw this one woman, and I wish I remembered her name, but you know, I'm doom scrolling and pausing. I'm not saving. I need to be better at that. But she was like, men aren't protecting us because they love us. They're resource guarding. That's what they're doing. Like, we're resource. We're their resource. And I was like, now, before anybody comes at me, I'm never going to say not all men. If you're offended by this, go sit with it, okay? Sit with it and figure it out, okay? Because the men that are not offended by this understand what I'm freaking saying. I'm married to a man that understands what I'm saying because he has to hear this all the time. Just be thankful it's not you, right? Like, but I like bring it up with him all the time because I'm like, this is so true when you think about like, when I think about the older men in my life that, it wasn't always a loving scenario. It was a gathering of resources.
When not my daughter, granddaughter, niece, cousin, aunt, etc.
Yeah, right. Break the cycle, bring it down, like that kind of thing.
Yes.
But it's so funny. But I'll never forget. Okay, I'm going to light it up with a joke. Okay, I'm 20.
I love this. This isn't even dark. Sorry, listeners.
27, just left an abusive relationship. I'm sitting in the Keys with my parents, mom and dad. I'm single as a Pringle. And the waiter is cute, right? And he's coming up. And like at that point when you're single and you really don't care what anybody thinks about you.
Oh my God, you lose like all sense of worry. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're just sitting there like they like me or they don't. Like it doesn't matter. Like
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm like making flirty comments in front of my parents. That's the relationship that we have. Okay.
Yes.
My dad is making his own little quips. It's funny. But the guy asks for my ID. I'm 27. I've been drinking a long time, He asks for my ID and I'm like, oh, my mom goes, are you sure? She's old.
Margie, can you help a sister out?
And then my dad goes, yeah, you can have her for 2 goats and a bucket of seashells.
So I haven't met your dad, but it's Scott, right?
Yeah.
Scott. How could you? Such a low dowry. I'm just kidding.
I know. And then we were dying laughing, but it was just so funny. Like, I think I recorded it. I think I put it on my Facebook, It's just like, you people need to know how funny my life is right now. But it was just like that moment. And my dad has never objectified a woman in my presence ever.
Mm-hmm.
And my uncles have,
Oh God.
My, other men in my life have, but my dad has always been so like
stalwart.
Yeah, like intellectual is important. Like I don't know if he set the example on purpose because he's a good dad or if he is innately a good dad. You know what I mean? Both are great. Both are great. If you have to consciously do it or if it's a subconscious thing, like whatever. But no actress on the TV was he like, damn. No, nothing that made me believe that that's how men needed to communicate.
Yeah.
Which sort of
but also probably didn't prepare you for how like horrible they
were. Exactly. So I'm like, I'll never forget. I'm in the movie theater and I'm watching that show Dope, or the movie Dope that came out. And this beautiful actress comes out and she's butt naked. Like you see her beautiful, perfect butt. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, but my frontal lobe isn't developed. I'm still jelly. Okay. And my boyfriend at the time, he just goes, damn. And I'm like, excuse you? But now I'm like, damn. Because, like, I was thinking it. So now I'm not suppressing that side of myself. But at the time, I was like, my dad doesn't frickin' do this. Like, why would I want my husband to do this?
Yeah.
So, boyfriend, partner, husband, whatever.
Guy, dude, person. I thought Dope was something completely different. I thought it was that James Franco movie about drugs. No. It was something different, but...
Pineapple Express, is that the one you're thinking of?
No, it was much more serious.
Oh.
It was like the one that people didn't like. James Franco was like No, I'm gonna embarrass myself if I talk about it because I don't even remember what it was about. But
that other Franco, not James Franco, but another Franco, and Alison Brie. I know the woman in the arts, right? Alison Brie. I love her. She was in Community, Glow.
I love Community.
She is they're coming out with a movie, and they're married in real life, and it's a horror movie.
Wait, I saw an ad for this, I think. Is it his little brother, like Dave or something?
Yeah. I think so. And I'm telling you, I want to see. It's the first time I've watched a trailer that didn't tell me the whole freaking movie in 2 minutes and ruin everything. Oh, also, speaking of movies, do you hear people talking about how Superman is woke now?
No.
How, because I guess Superman pretty much comes out and he's like, billionaires are all evil. Nobody deserves to die. Basic shit that we already knew about Superman because he's a hero.
Who's the hottie? Yeah.
I don't know what comic books you're reading where you don't think they're woke.
Boys?
I think it's
with Homeland?
Homelander. Yeah, I think it's like a lot of people that are coming out about. I haven't seen a video myself of somebody because my algorithm loves me. It's taking care of me. It's protecting me like a little baby. But I am seeing all the other people making videos about how stupid you are to think that Superman wasn't woke to begin with. And I know
Inception during like world wars, right? Like created to combat fascism and generate like patriotism to combat fascism, I think.
Right. And created to show that like we all have the same core values, no matter the race, gender, whatever. We are all humans of the world, or aliens in Superman's case. But, there's just those little things.
Can I see your papers, Clark?
Could you imagine? Anyway.
Someone calls ICE on
freaking Clark Kent.
Mr. Kent.
Speaking of ICE.
Oh, God. Lay it on me.
No, in Texas, the people that went and they overtook the ICE and killed. I don't know if they killed them, but they hurt them. They attacked armed military, like people wearing military uniforms and stuff.
Like
have you
paramilitary militia?
Yeah. Have you not heard about this?
This is off the grid, dude.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know enough about this I don't know names. I know that they are facing some charges right now because of, what the harm they caused or whatever. I know that everybody is backlash, like there shouldn't be a violent whatever. It's like they're being violent. Sometimes I can't. No matter how viral the photo will go of the protester hippie giving the daisy or sunflower, whatever she did to the SWAT, whatever. That's not me. That's not us anymore. We are fighting because this is gross. Happen. This is gross what's happening. So, no one's talking about it, though. It's been suppressed. So I'm actually not surprised that you haven't heard about it unless you're actively seeking it out. So
I have not even been on TikTok either. So and you and I haven't even really spoken since like last weekend.
Our streak ended. RIP.
Son of a...
I know. We had...
we have to start all over again.
I know. I think, what do we have? Like 50 days?
Yes.
Something?
56?
We had like a cute pinkish flame streak going. But, writing books, publishing books, formatting books, and palea takes my entire life away. So I don't have time to mess.
Are you married in that game yet or what?
I don't know if I can, but one of the characters is definitely dropping some major hints that he's been thinking about our wedding.
Dropping to one knee. Yep.
Yeah. But now I've officially flirted with like almost everybody in the town, and we're happy.
Love it.
And I like that I can just go up to everybody and get like a little cheeky flirt, and then I get to go.
Yes.
It's
It gives you dopamine or serotonin. Serotonin to go after it and dopamine once you get it.
Yeah, I'm just all day I'm mining for it because formatting a book doesn't give as much dopamine or serotonin as writing it.
Yeah.
And doing little blurbs and stuff for the authors, as excited as I am, it's not giving me anything either. So
it's also very hard.
Yeah, it's like I want to do everybody justice,
There's a lot of anxiety involved.
Yeah. It's like you just want to make sure everybody's happy. You want to make sure you're representing everybody correctly. And luckily the team is great. And
yes,
fine. And we're working good together. But there are some things.
It's a lot of weight on your shoulders though, my friend. How you holding up?
It's okay. I think I'm going to copy you. And you have to let me because this is what we are now. But I'm gonna. You're like, yay! Actually, where I'm going to make people write a bio.
Yes,
because when I asked for bios, I got like a sentence.
They didn't know what you were looking for or what it would be used for.
Right, and I wasn't specific enough. I just went in assuming I'm the person that knows nothing and everybody I'm talking to knows everything when I know a lot. And I have to start remembering that I know a lot. And it's okay to know stuff.
Yep.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't want to know anything.
Sometimes I don't know anything. Long haul.
Yeah. We're in it for the long haul.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is the first of many.
Yeah.
Books that you're going to be putting out, my friend.
I know. It's so exciting. It's so exciting when you think about it. Like, and you've already put out a poetry book before.
I have. Some other things under different names and different formats, but nothing serious.
So it's like we're both just like, ooh, it's so exciting. Yes. And it looks so cool. All right, now we could talk about this forever, but that's not
true.
So one last thing as a segue into what we're going to talk about is we're doing a lot of group projects. That's what this is, right?
God.
So we're doing a group project, and despite me shoving papers into my backpack and not really caring about school, I love group projects. I love projects. I always excelled at projects. It was always something that I loved to do, and I'm usually quick turnaround. Like I sit on it and hatch it. And then it's like, it looks like I'm doing nothing for a long time. And then it's like, no. I've just been incubating.
Yes. You're like,
it's coming.
Yeah.
But I was in Gifted and Talented, or if you would like to call honors classes, AP classes, it's called something different all across the country, all across the world. High achieving cluster is a new buzzword for it. But this is the educator in me, I know a lot of the acronyms. I know a lot of the things people say about smart people. But you were telling me, you asked me at the end of our conversation, were you a gifted and talented kid, by the way? But by the way, and I was like, yes. And you were like, oh, I've got a journey for you. And
yes,
I have not looked up anything. I've been tempted because the minute you put the seed in my brain, I'm like, I want to know.
Good.
But I want to be surprised. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
I also would like to know how many of our listeners were in any way, shape, or form involved in the Gifted and Talented program. Now, we're also aging ourselves, right? Just when we were in it, it was called Gifted and Talented. You gave a couple of the other names. Officially, it was known as GATE. Hey, Arwen, which is where that which is where that gate and gateway discussion starts to happen. So gifted and talented education, or tag, talented and gifted. So that's what it was called in like the 90s and onward, to kind of distinguish students who either were going through their work too quickly in the traditional classroom for their age group and grade, or
bothering the shit out of their teacher who
That's
just
the second
wanted to sit down, okay? Play with your thumbs. I don't know.
and the other one would be the kids that are being too distracting for all of the other kids in the classroom, and they need somewhere else to go to engage their very active minds. So that's what G&T is, or GATE is, or was.
All right. Do you know? You don't, because why would you? I was placed. Okay. Sophomore year, English class. I am a caller outer, and I'm a fighter. Right?
What a narc.
I would just tell when the teacher was wrong. The teacher was wrong. I was annoying. I built up so much bad karma as I could never teach higher level learning, because I know
they'd come for you.
They come for me, and because I already came for them, right?
Oh
anyway,
God, yes.
So I come into class after a day of being really annoying. Really, really annoying. And my teacher goes, I think her name was Miss Rothman.
Rothschild.
Goes,
Conspiracy. Yeah.
He goes, okay, this is your new seat. My seat is in the corner of the room. I have a wall, a cabinet, and 3 empty desks around me, so that I would just shut up, because I was that annoying. They tried to move me in the front. They regretted. They moved me into the back of the classroom immediately.
They were like, no spotlight for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And obviously now I just yap and talk all the time. So you can see not a lot has changed. I needed to be sequestered. And I think that was a higher achieving class, but I refused to go to AP because I don't try hard at things I don't like. So if I'm not interested in the book, I'm not trying hard at it. Anyway, so GATE.
Oh my gosh. We have to talk about our high school experiences and compare them sometime. But yeah, GATE, gifted and talented. And so like, where does that start for you, just to give our listeners like a mile marker? So like in the main public education system, it started at like 4th and 5th grade, which was like a middle school light. It was separate from elementary school, where like your kindergarten 1, 2, 3 grades were.
Right.
Same
I
thing?
remember. Similar. We did have a gifted project based in 2nd grade. I remember I did like a manatee website in 2nd grade for my project to try to make them not endangered anymore. It was like the core of it. But then I think they were starting to tier, because when I was in 5th grade, it was 2001. So I think that's when they started to kind of tier it to like maybe not 2 grades above, maybe just a semester above, and then maybe just like a year above, and then or 3/4 of a year. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I think they started to try to reform it a little bit to like gear it towards those different layers.
These kids are not doing well. We need to rethink this program.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, this kid's still annoying, but they're not flourishing. So is there a way that we could like keep them away?
Okay, first part of your journey, before I get to the gateway experience, especially since you haven't looked anything up, this is going to be an interesting experiment. Maybe not. What do you remember from your gifted and talented from like 4th, 5th, 6th grade? No older. No honors or AP after that, but like the gifted and talented program as it was probably incepted.
Okay, so I would get pulled out of my, well, in 4th and 5th grade, you started transitioning classes, right? Like, so you had to bring your like little binder with you, like whatever.
Trapper Keeper, Lisa Frank.
Make sure that you had everything you needed. If you forgot your journal, God forbid the teacher let you just walk 2 feet to get your journal without getting reprimanded.
Do I sense some? Yeah.
But it was a lot of like word based for ELA or language arts. It was a lot of written was the focus. So, and I think it correlates to now because the 4th level question that you could ask somebody is why all the time, right? So, and they need to be able to write that explanation. So I would think that's probably why it was like that. But ELA or language arts never stressed me out being gifted because it was like, it was reading,
Easy.
It was talking about a book, it was writing. I loved doing those things. Like I felt like I like to write. I like this. Math, however, I was flagged as being above grade level.
Mm-hmm.
I did not try to be above grade level.
Flagged as a math terrorist. Got it.
So I get pulled out with like a group of other like moderately high achievers or like based on the state tests, right?
Yes.
And I get pulled in and I remember we had to do like decimal, like multiplication decimals and the distributive property, but like more than just like the basic understanding of it. And I remember Miss Albright, I'll never forget, she looked at me and she looked at my paper and she was like, "You don't really like it here, huh?" And I was like, yeah, I don't really understand what's going on. Like, no teaching has happened. I remember I said something like, that sounds too old, but I said something like, "You didn't teach us," or like, where can I look? Like, where's the reference?
Yeah.
Because I could look at a reference and figure it out. Like, I was a very good problem solver, critical thinking, right?
Yes.
But not, if I don't have a reference, I'm not like freaking bright, brilliant mind or beautiful mind where he's just like, yes, that's never been me. I need to see a diagram and then I can figure it out. So she sent me back to my homeroom.
The disgrace.
So you had the reaction that some of my friends were having, and they were pissed for me because they were like, that was embarrassing. Like my friend Stephanie, also an Aries, okay? Also, like, you know, I was talking about Will earlier, just like the Aries energy.
Yeah.
My little Pisces ass is just walking back like, good. I didn't want to be there anyway. I want to go back to where it's easy. I can just, where I don't have to pay attention and I get A's. That's where I want to be. But Stephanie, who was in that group, was upset because we weren't in the same classroom, like homeroom. So now we finally would have, you know, learning time together, like our best friend time. And then and then for me to be like disgraced, you know, to me to go back.
Your fall from grace.
She was like, "I can't believe Miss Albright did that. She's so nice to me. She's so nice. And then she was so mean. I'll never forgive her. I'll never." Recess.
Sounds like a cunt.
Recess. She was actually very nice. She was.
Why was she saying it in front of the whole damn class?
I obviously, my ego is different, I guess. Like, I definitely don't have, like, the super strong ego ever. I definitely don't have, like, a fragile ego. But about certain things, I do. I think we all, insecurities, right? Getting poked. I know that I don't like math, so I wasn't bothered.
Get me out of here.
Yeah. If my teacher for lit, if my lit teacher was doing so, I'll argue to the cows come home because that's something that I feel like I excel at. So how could you take that away from me? I know I'm trying and I'm good. So
yeah.
Why would you do that? But for math, I was like, okay, sorry. That was a long explanation of how
Love it.
like for me.
That's what you guys were missing if you were not, but that's a good refresher for the feelings, the high intensity feelings that we all had in those G&T classes, regardless of what the subject matter was back in the day, because they really took a lot out of you. And I think before, like, we're going to get into like a conspiracy theory and some other things that actually happened that weren't officially a part of the Gifted and Talented program, but have since been connected in some loose conspiratorial manner.
Ooh, okay.
Oh yeah. And so we'll get to all of that. But the jokes before this shitstorm that I'm going to get into, I've got some notes off to the side here that we'll get into. But previously, maybe like 3-4 years ago, the reputation that the Gifted and Talented program had was that all of the students had since become procrastinators. All of the students had since become neurodivergent. All of the students had since become queer. All of the students had since become burnt out, chronically burnt out.
I've been hit. 4 out of 4. 5 out of 5. I lost count. I'm bleeding out.
Check. So play along at home with how many you have. So keep that in mind. And we're going to get into the gateway experience. First, tie it back to what you started talking about in the last episode, and then we'll tie the two together.
Okay.
The Gifted and Talented and the gateway experience. So it's the weekend. We're not filming on our normal day. I'm kind of running on caffeine, flat Coke Zero from maybe earlier today or yesterday. Who knows? And so keep me on track. But I recall that last time, Jess, you were regaling our viewers with your first ever lucid dreaming experience. Is that right?
Yeah. My first astral projection.
Yeah. You were out of body. You didn't know what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
You hadn't pursued it before, but it happened to you napping.
Yeah. And it was nuts so bananas. It'll linger with me forever, I think.
Yeah. So I'll ask your opinions after we talk a little bit about this, because the gateway experience was actually created to be able to generate that experience on demand for any individual. Now, who knows if it's because you were astrally projecting because you were a Pisces or other sensitivities that you have, or that it was just, the perfect circumstances because you were napping. But the gateway experience, or the gateway tapes, you might hear them like casually referred to, were developed by the Monroe Institute. They were trying to develop hemispheric syncing and producing theta brainwaves that are similar to, like, I think, that napping experience. So hemispheric syncing, you've heard of binaural beats. You have your headphones in, and it kind of has that whatever rhythm going into each ear to sync the two hemispheres of your brain, allegedly.
And it's supposed to make you, like, feel good, right? Like, or like if you're neurodivergent, like, you kind of like it more?
Yes. Like, I think there's not a lot of research around what the different waves do or frequencies do and what their results are. But yeah, allegedly each different frequency produces a different response and that sort of thing. It can calm you. It can, like, shoot all of the other thoughts that you have out of your brain, and just kind of clear your brain, even if you're not calm. But yeah, it syncs your brain. It gets you into that, like, welcoming chill state, especially the tapes that the Monroe Institute produced decades ago, back in the day.
Okay.
Now, when I say tapes, I do mean, for our younger listeners, cassette tapes.
I was also like, after you said audio and frequency, I was like, okay, cassettes. But first I was like, VHS? I was still old. I was still thinking old, right?
Yeah, old school.
But I was like, not a floppy disk. So,
dude, I'd listen to a floppy disk. But no, I have listened to the audio files of the Gateway experience from the Monroe Institute. I enjoyed it. I liked it.
Okay.
I'm a weirdo anyway, though. So what these tapes do, and we'll have like a little bit before people just stop whatever episode they're listening to of this podcast and like jump into the internet, try to find them to pirate or download or buy. Like there is a little bit of a warning because everybody's a little bit different, but I friggin' loved them. They kind of take you through almost your typical meditation. The first couple are a little boring for most people. Honestly, the very first one, though, I was listening to them at night. So I would put headphones in, listen to them like 30 minutes before like I'm typically dozing off, going to sleep. And they created this really vivid dreaming experience. Now, I didn't feel the astral projection from tape 1 or from listen 1, session 1. But I did have these extremely vivid dreams. Kind of like, so I'm a fiction writer, so I'm prone to delusion anyway and flights of fancy, right? But remembered everything about them, wrote them down.
Is this abnormal for you? Like, are you not typically a lucid dreamer, or does lucid dreaming find you every now and then, but like it's not frequent?
When I was younger, I used to lucid dream a lot. I will not lucid dream now unless I'm extremely what's a good word? Like extremely intentional about it, and like all of the variables have to be right, if that makes sense. So I really have to like prep and like hope that it happens.
So you have to be more like scientific about it, but
believe it or not, yeah. When I was younger, yeah, anything could be a lucid dream regularly, like every night.
Yeah.
Now less so. What about you?
I have vivid dream. If I'm always dreaming at night, and they're always pretty vivid, if not lucid. I don't have as many lucid dreams now that I'm writing more. When I wasn't writing, I feel like things were trapped in there, you know?
Interesting.
So now that I'm writing more, it'll happen. Sometimes I'll have a dream and I'll have to write about it. Like as soon as I wake up, like I'll get that feeling. But yeah, I definitely accidentally dream vividly. I would be interested to attempt to be more purposeful about it, but a part of me is like a little scared because I'm so prone. What if I just never wake up? What if I'm just like
coma?
I'm just constantly thinking I'm waking up. Like that's like the craziest feeling. It's like when you think you've woken up and then you're like, oh, I haven't. And you feel that sense. And then you think you've woken up again and you still haven't woken up. It's like, am I trapped in here? Mind traps. Anyway.
Mind traps. Inception loops. You know, I still haven't seen the entire movie Inception, but it's right up my alley. I always fall asleep during it.
That's what I've heard. I've heard that people are susceptible to fall asleep during it. And I wonder if it's because it is very... like when you're watching somebody underwater, you can't breathe as well when you're doing this. So you're watching these people go to sleep, you know? Yeah. And like, yeah, they're active in their dreams, but you're watching them go to sleep. Your body's like, oh, I kind of want to do that too.
Yeah.
You know?
Honestly, to like make myself healthfully have this really good sleep hygiene practice, like I take this GABA, GABA supplement every night. It's got like a couple of other things in it. If I take that, I'm not fucking lucid dreaming. Like no vivid dreams whatsoever. It's very deep rest. I'm sure I dream, but I don't remember it.
Yeah.
So adults having to wake up and go to work. This is the prison that capitalism is.
Yeah. Zoochosis, keeping us from our dreams.
Don't make me take GABA to get some rest for you. I want my prophetic hypnagogic dreams, please.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1970s, the Monroe Institute, yada, yada, yada. It's private research. They dubbed it HEMISYNC, which sounds like a pickup truck technology, like an engine generation or something like that.
Also, it sounds like I pulled my hammy you know? So I would instantly just look at them and be like, can we name it something else?
Yes.
This was 80s, did you say, when they named it HEMISYNC, or is this still 70s?
This is still the 70s.
Okay.
Hemi, like HEME, hemispheres.
Right.
And the thought was, the hypothesis was that when your hemispheres of your brain, two separate hemispheres, were synced, it would open your mind, jettison it into a higher level of consciousness. It awakens latent psychic abilities, higher perception, non-local awareness, and then, like you were saying, astral projection. Now, this sounds woo-woo, right? This sounds like friggin' out there.
Men who stare at goats kind of vibes.
Yes, very. But it was serious enough that the CIA took it seriously and studied it. They declassified like a whole analysis. This was back like right when I was graduating high school, 2003 or 4. And they called it the Gateway Process Document. So check that out. It's super interesting. Love it. If you're a nerd about stuff like that. It felt very Stranger Things, Cold War era, kind of bending spoons, remote viewing, that sort of thing.
Portals, but like...
We love portals.
Yeah, we love portals.
Oh my gosh. So the cool thing is there are many sessions, and these gateway tapes, you can find them for free, available online if you care to use them. You do one session per night or one session per week, and you ease yourself into it. It's really cool. It's not just meditation. It guides you through visualization of protecting your body, locking it up. You do like this energy field work. You jettison off into like the astral space, the ethers. Yes. But yeah, so I don't know. I've always been more of a channeler and like a dreamer and things like that anyway, and less of like I've never astrally projected. I've never done anything like that, but I'm interested. Is this something that you think you might look into and possibly ever try, or you would just be like, no, thank you. I want to be safe.
I've been feeling like I need to be more protective of my energy lately. Like, I feel like in terms of all these ventures that you and I are doing in particular, where we're opening ourselves up to strangers and opening ourselves up to receiving energy, or like, you know what I mean? I've been feeling lately that just because I have a lot of energy to give doesn't mean I should be giving it to like certain people, and that's becoming more and more clear lately. So the thought of being able to like protect myself before, because I'm telling you, the shadow guide. So the thing they talk about in astral projection is that a guide will meet you every time, and they're neutral, right? So like in D&D, they are neutral. You're not going to get a guide,
guardian angel.
You're not going to get a guide that cares about your safety, and you're not going to get a guide that's actively trying to harm you, right? But the guide is supposed to be this neutral ferryman, essentially guiding you through the things, and they kind of are supposed to be giving you rules, right? Now, I'm delusional.
Love it. No, this is why we're friends.
I know. But for all the listeners, okay, you know that we come from intellectual angles all the time, philosophical angles.
Screw it though. Swipe it under the rug. What's going on?
Yeah, like we have our biases, we have our things, but generally speaking, we come off pretty sane most of the time. I'm about to expose the window of insanity that lies within my mind.
I love this.
I thoroughly believe in the universe expanding and shrinking constantly in order to right itself with equilibrium. The minute I learned what equilibrium was and how the earth naturally performs that in order to stay a certain temperature, it applies to everything, right? You are constantly, as a person, seeking equilibrium all the time, whether it's, you know, who you're surrounding yourself with, the amount of sleep you're getting, the amount of energy you're putting out, productivity coming in. What you are actively always seeking peace, right? And so the universe, to me, is always actively seeking a balance, right? And maybe that's my North Node, okay? Libra of it all, right? Kind of coming out. But it's like, I know I astral projected. Did I go far? No, I went down the hallway and then I came back.
That's such a Taurus moon destination. Like, just outside your body and then back.
And because I was like, I don't know where I am. There's my body. And then there's the shadow figure at the window. And when I went to Barnes & Noble and dove in deep, because that's what I did, I got like all the books to the little cafe table.
Yeah.
And I read read about astral projection and there being a guide set up for you. And experiencing that, because I want magic to be real so fucking bad. I want magic to be real. On my engagement ring box, it says on the bottom magic is real, because that's how it is such a core thing that I always say, right? It's crazy. And I believe in a lot of things that I'm like Luna Lovegood. This is it. I'm like Luna Lovegood. I've got her wand. I hate the author, right? Like, you know, but I loved Luna. I even liked how she was portrayed in the movies. I don't remember how she was portrayed in the books, to be honest, but I loved that little, like,
dreamy
nature, believing in everything, providing proof of a balance, like being like providing the sage wisdom, you know, was always something. And I just I will. I think I will, because it's just another way of proving that there's more within ourselves that's never ending, right? Because they always say, we are the universe experiencing itself. And we all hate parts of ourselves, right? So the universe hates parts of itself too. And that's why we're always fucking fighting for whatever reason. But, you know, it's like there's got to be something eternal inside, and we've called it a soul, right? We've called it energy. We've called it all these names, but it's freaking space, dude. We got the minerals in there from freaking stars, from the earth, from the galaxies. Our brain is just like, hey, I can do things instantly. We try to like manufacture our brain constantly. Like, sometimes things are simple, you know? It's like we have an unending thing within. So why wouldn't we commune with it when we're sleeping? Why wouldn't we do that? So if you are astral projecting out there, and if you do it by accident like I did, and you see your body and you get scared, or if you have a sleep paralysis demon like I do that won't leave you alone, like we talk, like Hatman, creepypasta, right? Gets talked about a lot.
Yeah.
All you have to do is say, no, get out of here. And they get out. They leave. It's not like Insidious, okay, where the woman in black is just like, coming at you. It's not like that, you know, whatever. Whether you believe it's an other world, other spirit, other thing, like some believe like the veil, right? Or you believe that it's just you talking to you, right? Like, get in on it.
Sure is something.
Something's happening. And I want to know what it is.
Yes. I want to know too.
Like, everybody talks about dreams, and then you hear, like, the really boring breadstick people that are like,
Oh, so lame. I hate it.
they're like, it's just what your subconscious thinks about what happens during the day.
Yeah, maybe yours, loser.
I don't know. I don't think my subconscious dreamed about giant frickin' balloon animals, like, that looked at me all weird, and I knew I was sleeping. Yeah, that happened to me one time. Someone therapized me, okay? I don't know what it means, but I know that I didn't ingest any carnival material before bed, any clown
or birthday
material,
party.
nothing.
Yeah.
There was I don't remember the last time I've seen a goddamn balloon animal, but they're huge, going around stomping. I'll never forget that.
I love an active subconscious or unconscious or whatever the hell your brain and psyche touches when you're sleeping. I truly love it so much. Yeah.
So
I believe in it. I
yeah.
hardcore believe in it.
Okay, so the conspiracy of all this was like all those things we turned into, and then now they have these tapes.
The conspiracy of it is that. So, Jess, did you ever have hearing tests administered when you were in Gifted and Talented?
Yeah, I did.
Big, chunky headphones?
Mm-hmm.
If you do choose to listen to the Gateway Experience tapes, the first 10 seconds or whatever, it plays a tone, which is a trademark of the program, the Monroe Institute, etc. Just to let you know, it's like a couple of chimes or something like that. When you listen to it, which I hope you do, and anyone listening, it will bring you right back to those hearing experiments and those hearing tests that they gave you in Gifted and Talented, probably like the 4th grade level, right? Like really early on, they give it to you, because what people are asserting in conspiracy land right now is that, and now granted, it probably was not the same thing. Who the hell knows, right? But what people are asserting in conspiracy land is that Gifted and Talented program, or the GATE, Gifted and Talented Education Program, was just America's pipeline to a post-Cold War era psychic child development program.
Okay.
Bizarro. What are you feeling? What are you thinking? What is your body doing in reaction to this news as I talk?
Okay. As somebody who has had not trouble adjusting. I won't say that, because if you look at my life, I'm pretty well adjusted. I found a career. I found a relationship. Yeah.
We're so stable.
I did all of the practicality pieces, right?
Check.
But sometimes I feel like I'm not remembering everything. You know what I mean? And I have a great memory. It's like one of the things about myself. And I feel like I've been talking a lot this episode about things I'm good at. It just so happens that these things...
I love it. I love it.
Like, I can remember what somebody's face looked when they said something, how they sounded, and I don't put my own feelings on it. And I'm usually right. And that's my intuition. I you know what I mean? Like, but I can remember what somebody said a year ago, 3 years ago, just yesterday. Like, there's no short term, long term. Will I forget where I put my fucking keys? Yes, but that's the Fae, okay? They're stealing my shit. This
cheeky bastard.
This is like, I'll be playing a video game with some friends and they'll be like, what does this do again? And in my head, I'm like, I literally told you what this did like two days ago. It does this. And then, but they have like literally no recollection. And I'm like, maybe it's just me thinking the way I think, whatever. But I can't. There always has felt like something's missing. You know what I mean? And I don't want to dive too deep into it. I'm not one of those crazy people that wants to remember if somebody hurt me when I was a child or something. More power to those of you that do that healing
no past
journey.
life regression. No, yeah.
Like you go on your journey. I can't handle it. I already know. I wouldn't be able to handle it. I would be in a padded cell like immediately. But if they were doing these hearing tests and I was exposed to something around this time, that would be very interesting because I was already so susceptible to dreaming, right? If you guys recall the chocolate chair, right? I've been dreaming of this stuff and having night terrors and the works since 3-4 years old. So if I'm and I had it continuously, like it didn't just like go away. I was constantly dreaming and still freaking am. So if I'm in 4th grade getting those big chunky hearing things happening and I'm not susceptible, and then all of a sudden I'm astral freaking projecting and I have no control over it, I have a problem. I wanted a superpower, okay? For the longest time. If I have one dormant within me and you guys just made me forget it, government out there, I'm gonna be so pissed.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is delusions of grandeur of like right now happening. I know I'm not Superman, though I am woke like him.
It would be cool.
But it would be cool, you know. I'd love to teleport though instead of just dreaming.
Yeah. Fly. I'll take flying.
But this is interesting just because it is something that I have been deeper level thinking recently. Like,
dude, I haven't listened to them in months. I would be willing to do like a re-listen in tandem if you want. I can send you the files. It guides you through safely. But I do want to say, as we're maybe wrapping up, you know, we can still talk more about it too, but before people go off, before anyone else downloads the tapes, I think it would only be responsible to say, before you play them in your headphones alone in the dark, some people do have like a negative experience. It depends on like where you're at. Are you feeling safe? A whole lot of different variables. So make sure you are comfortable. And this is something that you take slow and wait and see how you react. Because if you are prone to dissociation, I mean, I am. And I know you've alluded to maybe being, but
this whole episode.
Maybe if you're in a less grounded space or you're in the middle of something that is really producing anxiety or psychosis or anything like that for you, the gateway tapes are probably not the best thing for you to be listening to. And I would dissuade you from listening to them at this point in your life. There's always the future. Don't listen to them while you're feeling unmoored, ungrounded, yada, yada.
Oh, I like that word.
Just so that you don't feel yourself kind of maybe spiraling alone or anything like that. So I don't say this to scare you. Just be careful. It's like when you're doing any sort of trip or whatever, like, yeah. Just
I was going to say, I was like, this is what you tell people before like shrooms and acid. It's like, who you're with is important, environment's important, and your goal setting for whatever you're doing is important.
Readiness. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Dude, do you want to do it?
I definitely want to do it now.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Yeah.
But let's maybe we can plan it for around like October. You know what I mean? And then we could do it. If I come up and visit you, just send Will and Chris away. Excuse us, we're taking a nap. We're gonna listen to these tapes.
The cool thing is that they progress in the tapes. So give yourself a couple weeks so that you can listen to a couple sessions because the lessons build on each other, which is so cool.
So I shouldn't binge watch and binge listen like I'm prone to do.
Dude, you can. I have ever. Taking it easy is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
For sure.
I'm going to try not to hyperfixate on my own brain.
Oh my God.
Well, this was really interesting because for multiple reasons. One, gifted and talented. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't even thought about that in a long time. I did see a lot of like the memes and stuff going around back, like, are you overly anxious? Are you a ex-gifted child with this, and this? Like, you know, like all those jokes that were so prevalent and so hitting the nail on the head. Because honestly, that was me, right? Like,
Yeah.
all of us, I feel like, because the amount of projects that they gave us, and I loved projects, but the amount of pressure that they put upon such young minds. And now we see it like with state mandated tests. Like, you can't pass third grade if you don't pass your state test. And you're like automatically held back. And they wait till third grade for whatever reason to do this. And those kids are dealing with peer issues already. Third and fourth grade is when cliques form. Like, you know what I mean?
Also, that's like vaguely the age when like BDNF, like brain derived neurotropic factor, is starting to decrease, or like it just starts to decrease in children too. So like there are other like physical or physiological things that are happening.
Yeah, like hormones.
Too.
Yeah, exactly. Like hormones are gearing up. Like, I mean, for some girls, they've already been hitting. Like, that's just the way our bodies are. So it's kind of crazy to me that whoever in power was like, you know, third grade, magic year, to be held back, ostracized from the rest of their class, made to look a fool. That's surely gonna make us, like, the future generations, really love school and really love being a part of a community.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Surely won't have any negative ramifications of these children.
I know that when I was in third grade, I needed something like this to keep me motivated. I don't know why conservatives in my head were automatically like British people, almost. But, well, I have to go binge listen to all these tapes that Nico just warned me about, so I will talk to you guys later.
No, wait! Check out our links below. There's still time to check out our projects coming up, submit to them, and pledge to a Kickstarter for a really cool book. Talk to you guys later.
Bye!